Action.
Okay, good day to everybody, to anybody who hears me. In few days, I will be 70 years, and it reminds me of deciding for very important or significant fact in my life to have the ministerial career. So that was the day that I decided to go to the seminary. To have you an initial introduction for all of you, I belong to a family of 11 siblings. I am the 10th and youngest among the boys. I still can say that I belong to a miracle family, like I guess any other third world family in any other country. Because I was told that during the World War II, there were already 7 ahead of us who were born first. And it's so just amazing how the Lord works on the parents with 7 children during World War II in 3 year time, and they all survived. Of course, it's a long story how it went. So being the 10th, I experienced all maybe not expected by anybody. We call uh, whatever is normalities of life or just tests or hindrances or challenges. Anyway, that's the way I can say how I became a person, a man who got this career, a ministerial career. Out of 11 of us, I believe 9 of us took the seminary courses. And I believe out of the 11, 4 of us became a pastor. Maybe if you agree with the lady pastor, she will be the fifth one. But out of those 5 who took this as a career, whether full-time or part-time, I happen to be the only one who took the most number of years in educating myself and even in experiences that I have had. So I will let you know some, I believe, good questions enough to help you and to help others who might want to take the career that I have had now and trying to continue to have after 50 years of decision to be a minister or a servant of the Lord, of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Right, Prof. Sam, here are your questions. First, what made you decide to have ministry as your lifetime career? How did it all started?
Well, I was brought up in a place where it's very rare to happen to anybody. I grew up in the used to be Philippine Christian Mission House in 63. It was 77. It becomes 63, I believe, the number, in Gastambide, Sampaloc, Manila. Our parents took over of that house that was a mission house, then made out of it a boarding house where I believe there must be not less than 50. It's always, sometimes it reaches to 100 boarders, and most of the boarders are ladies. So I was told they put the name as Christian Ladies Dormitory. Can you imagine a boy like me grew up at least 10 years of his life among the ladies from different places coming from all over the Philippines, speaking different languages, Cebuano, Ilocano, Kapampangan, Bisaya, Tagalog, you can name them. And so it is interesting to say that out of my brothers, I guess, and I can still remember, three of our male brothers got their wives on that dormitory because you can make your choice. Pick one, complexion and height and weight and whatever kind. You make your choice. And also two of my nephews got their wives from that, but I'm the only one who did not. So that's the answer to the question, why did I choose this career? I was raised up in the dormitory in the middle of, let's say, university belt, between these Par Eastern University, University of Santo Tomas, University of the East. Thousands of people every day. Most of them are students getting out and in of the school. So it developed my insight in the future. Maybe I would like to be a teacher. I was a very people-centered in those experiences. But again, too many people are asking me, why did not I take a girl or wife to bury from that ladies' dormitory? That's a long story, but to make it shorter, uh, I took some 3 general courses, and I cannot even remember them, but all started in the first year. So it's just like a man who is not sure of what is coming in the future. So alone, nobody told me, nobody motivated me. I decided to go to seminary, but only for one principal goal, because I'm very music-minded kind of person. I thought when I go to seminary, that's the best place where I can learn music in a cheaper way. Because if you go to learn some kind of music, that's a high kind of the kind of professional to be if you want to be a professional musician. So seminary is the cheapest or one of the cheapest ones to learn more music. But as I learn music, I developed this talent of speaking. And we have had inside the seminary an kind of speech contest or rhetorical contest. I don't know how, I can't remember. And the academic dean just told me and called me in the office. I would like you to stay in the seminary and I will give you 4 year free tuition because I made the first place in that speaking contest. So my set of thinking changed. I thought I will just learn the music and then go back to my, we call it Berkada or whatever group you want to name them. I love some music. It was the time of the Beatles and the Bee Gees, and the Everly Brothers, and then I know how to sing well in that way, and I know how to play guitar. So that is started in a way. Maybe the Lord is telling me something. I'm not even thinking of the Lord. I'm just thinking of, what is this? I'm learning something that I was not expecting to come to me. And so from that point, since I have that free tuition for 4 years, decided to stay longer. And there, in my staying longer, I met my wife for 47 years now. That made me stay longer. But of course, there are some challenges and risks in that point of decision. But to answer the question, that made me decide. Maybe this is what my life is meant to be self-fulfilled, is just to serve the Lord in His own way, and I don't know what future lies ahead.
Okay pa. Here's your next question. In all kinds of talents you have or skills, please rate your priority and effectivity or effectively.
Well, initially, I just mentioned earlier that I'm a people person, and I also told you that I'm a very music-minded. Although music is a very expensive kind of degree, I ended up with playing just the guitar. It's the cheapest kind of instrument. Of course, I learned piano after the second semester. I ended up in the lesson of arpeggio, which my fingers are not long enough. Then there were no large piano. Uh, I mean, small piano like we have now, because there are many pianos. But then it's just large piano. I cannot reach the octave and especially the arpeggio. So I dropped the course. I ended up in playing accordion and maybe we can say baby guitar. Uh, so as I developed learning that, I learned the speaking, and I have had that scholarship, and I learned how to speak. The first ministry I have had, and it was during my first year still, is jail ministry. I remember it was 1971 to 72. I was one of those who was given permission to do sort of lecture and whatever you can do among inmates in Manila City Jail. And so it was developed really deep inside of me. It is something that I never thought about. Although at first, even from my childhood, I would like to be a teacher. What kind of teacher? I just think of just simple teacher. That's good enough. So that goes through, and it's maybe slow, but it's progressive, and it's developing in a way that I think I can never quit. Since I first, my wife to be, I met there inside the seminary. Although that might be not a part of the second question, but go ahead. What will be the next question?
Were there times in your ministerial career that you're tempted to quit, and why so?
Okay, now I did graduate, I finished, and instead of doing it for 4 years' time, I did it, I taught 6.5 years, and that will be not a part of this interview anyway. Uh, I know there will be a test. We learned that in the seminary. There will be trials, there will be challenges, and even threats to our life. And we are told that you have to confront it and never think it will be done until your life is there. It will be continuously come to you. So I do expect that there will be trials and trials. It refines you to be who should be and what kind of workers you will be. So I took all those, even with my spouse, my wife and my children. And it reminds me that even my own son at the age of 13 years old, he said, "Dad, I cannot be like you." And it hurts, but I have to listen to my own son at the age of 13. I said, "Son, why so?" "Because you always leave us. I don't want to do that in my own family. I don't want to be like you." So it hit me right there. I'm sorry to hear that, but I have to hear what I need to hear. That's one of the problems, as we can say, that maybe I have to quit, but I have already started. But things, and I say it penetrates in my mind. Once you are called, you can never go away. Like Jonah. He tried to run away, but he ended up in the place where he was trying to run away from. I guess I cannot be like that. And I guess that will be true to me. If you are called, whether you go or not, you like it or not, if you are chosen to be one of those, I'm not saying I'm a special one, but I think I am called. And I cannot find a way, no matter how I try. So I always end in serving the Lord this way. Part of that is maybe it is my weakness. I am the kind of person that doesn't want to be get rich materially. I don't know. Maybe you call it weakness, maybe you call it strength. I don't know. Most of my siblings, they have all their businesses. Most of them are successful, and many times I was offered to join them, even my own brothers. But I am not sold to that. I just continuously think I'm this person. This is my work. I am chosen. This was given to me. And I cannot find a place or a way to quit. Of course, there are many offers, and I don't want to brag on that. And we have no time to mention those, and I think that is not important to me right now. Next question, please.
Okay. For the last question po, why go to seminary graduate schooling in Tennessee?
Oh, that's a big question. Why go to Tennessee, USA? Ah, well, that's not part of my dream. I never thought of that. That is, if it's a dream, it is impossible dream, as we hear in the song of Man Monroe. To dream the impossible dream. That's not even my dream. It happened in a way that there was one board members of the school that took me as a project. He said he studied my life. He believed I'm not a scholar enough to do a graduate school. And in US, and I heard in US there is no diploma mill. You have to work hard. You have to build yourself up. You have to earn your trust. So sometime when I talk with that board of trustee member, I simply, directly ask him, why me? Why me? You don't know me. And he just said, I believe you. I believe you. And I will support you. And then I will ask others to support you to have your graduate school. But you answer the question that I told you. I asked you first, would you like to come to USA for graduate school? Of course, any Filipino in his normal mind, why not? USA, hey, USA. We're only dreaming of shoes or shirt made in USA, and here comes USA offered to me. Okay, I will try, but don't depend on me. 100 fully trusted me. Okay, let's start. And then it worked out. I went there alone, and there were so antagonism points in a way. I hate to say that some people who I cannot believe, some people are close enough to me, dear to me, even on my own siblings said, no, not you, Samson, not you. We know you. You cannot study that level and in that country, not you. Of course, not everybody is negative on that point. So to cut the story shorter again, I went to US first alone. I studied 13 months, and I said to the school administration, I'm sorry, I cannot take this. I cannot go on because I was running from the school to the housing of the school. I have to walk a mile. And mind you, I never learned to drive till I got to USA land. I don't know how to drive because I was a Manila boy. I grew up in Manila boy. I took my grade school in Manila. So I'm so used to jeepney and buses. I don't know how to drive. That's all. So to cut the story shorter again, I was forced to drive. And that's another story. That's another challenge. Can you imagine walking a mile every day to go to school, back and forth? How hard it was. During the winter time, the people, mostly white people, were looking at me, and maybe in their mind they're thinking, what is this small Filipino guys doing walking on snow? I never thought of that. I just took it as a challenge and a part of my growth in the ministry. So I did that in 13 months till I gave up. The reason is the school could not take my wife to come to US. even for a Christmas vacation. He was there was already a fund for her ticket without the kids. She was denied 3 times. She was interviewed inside the embassy, but she was denied 3 times. Can you imagine some of those challenges and hindrances? But again, that that mind-tingling words saying, "You are chosen." But I said, maybe not this time. I have to consider first my family. I told the school, family first. So I went back. So homesick because I went to America not to earn dollar, to earn money, but to earn knowledge. And I don't know at first why do I earn knowledge. But now as I'm talking, I know why. Why I earned those knowledge. And this is the last question. The second part of this, I will reveal to you why God gave me this knowledge, in spite of the fact that I'm not really a scholarly kind. But I have, I think, a heart that is good enough. That I was motivated to serve people. When I was growing up in Manila, I saw every day of my life thousands of students. I mean, every day. And I was thinking of their souls. Oh, I was thinking of their future. They come and go. Study, graduate, took a job, married, got children. What's next? That develops in my mind. So after thinking of 3 courses that always the first year I quit, I decided to do go seminary. Nobody can hinder me. I have to find something what is best for me that I can be still productive in my life. Thank you for listening the first part. I hope I did my job. This is the part of the reason why I would like this, and thank you for the helping, for those people who helped me to do this. It's because I know that there will be one or two, or some of you that are hearing me who decide to take this career. This is the first part that I would like you to know. Thank you for listening, and let's see you and hear me on the second part. Good day to all of you.